Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're gonna do integration by parts today. It is something that will come up in your IB exams, so let's get straight into it. So we have two variables in the equation that we are given in questions. One is u and one is v, right? So we have u and v. So this is the rule, LIATE. I is for inverse trig. So you know stuff like arctangent. It'll be in your formula booklet. L is for logs. A, algebraic. So basically whatever x squared. T is for trig. So you know your sine, cosine. And E is exponent. Just remember exponent. We always put it at the last because you know e to the power of x is just e to the power of x. Okay, so this is clear. Let's move on to an example. So we choose u and dv dx. So which one shall we choose for u? Yeah, exponentials last, right? So let's choose x as our u, dv over dx as our e to the power of x. So what's du over dx? It's just 1, right? So actually du is equals to dx. This is an IB shortcut that you can use. Once again, let's integrate v. We just get back that, right? So dv is e to the power of x dx as well, because you can move this one there, right? Yeah. So let's look at the formula. Let's just copy it. This was our ux. dv is e to the power of x dx equals uv, which is just x ex, minus integrate v du, which is just dx, right? So the left-hand side matches our question. Let's just simplify the right-hand side. How do you integrate ex? It's just ex, and remember your plus c. And we can just factorize this out, and we are done. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the second example. What's our u? What's our dv over dx? Well, x is our u, right? Because it goes above cosine. Yeah. So this one is cosine x. Let's differentiate that. Let's integrate that. So du is dx again, and in this case dv is cosine x dx. Okay, so let's write down our equation. What's our u? X. What's our dv? Cosine x dx equals to, so uv x sine x minus, right, integrate sine x, which is our v, with respect to du, which is our dx. So we have this x sine x. How do you integrate sine x? Yeah, negative cosine, right? So it's cosine x plus sine, and yeah, we are done. Okay, let's move on to the third example, which is ln x. So by parts, right? So what do we do? In the exam, they won't tell you it's by parts, but every time you see ln x, you can do it by parts. So what's our u and what's our dv over dx? Well, we can actually write it as 1 times ln x. This is a trick that you should remember. So in this case, u will be ln x because that's our very high on the order, right? This is the second one. And what is our dv over dx is simply 1. So du over dx is 1 over x. And we can write that as du is 1 over x dx. V is just x, right? So dv equals to dx in this case. So let's write down the question. U dv, with our u is ln x, plus dv dx. So yeah, we got down the left side. uv minus integrate v dv, du, sorry, which is just that. So let's simplify this, x ln x. So x times 1 over x is simply 1. So we get x plus c, and we're done. Yep, just remember this and you can do it. On to the last example. This one's a bit trickier because you have to do it twice. Okay, so let's do u small case. Just remember that for future. Let's fill in which ones are we gonna choose as u and v. Yeah, x squared. So we got 2x here. E to the power of x is just e to the power of x, so that's nice. Let us write down the equation u dv. Right before that, let's write down this just to be clear. Right, so our dv is just that, equals to uv minus integrate v respect to du, which is that. So, okay, left-hand side looks good. Let's look at the right-hand side. Well, we can't really do this, right? But from our first example, we did something like this, and we got this result, right? So let's just copy that. So this, we can take out the 2, right? We can take out the 2 in front. So let's rewrite it as negative 2 ex, or actually x ex dx. And we can just sub it in, x squared ex minus 2 ex x minus 1 plus c. So this is just a reference. And yeah, that's our answer. We can simplify if we want to factorize it out. Yep, and there we go. So yeah, that's all for by parts. Don't be too worried. Just remember this formula. Remember how to choose your u and your dv over dx. Do this little box that I do. It's a 3x3 kind of thing. Write the u, write the dv over dx. Take the differential of that, integrate this, and rearrange du to be in terms of x, and v in terms of x. Sub all this information into the formula given here, and remember about the 1 times ln, and remember about the reiteration. Okay, good luck.